It's like, I love that when we talk back and forth. Tom and I would get in a session, a half hour into it, we've just been babbling like Yoda and like, all right, we gotta work. Okay, let's knock out that narration, Tom.
Yeah, but I gotta tell you, the other night we were hanging out in a hotel room, and I found out he worked on King of the Hill, which I didn't know. So I whipped out my best Hank Hill, and then he pulled his out.
Yeah, I was
beat
wondering.
me to the ground. His Hank Hill is awesome.
It's spot on. The one who knows, that's spot on. 2 years.
Do it now. Do it now.
Tell them about your pro playing.
Dave, Golden IGN. Hey, so you mentioned that George is the only one who knows Ahsoka's fate. So I'm just curious, A, the conversations, how much has he told you about her and Rex? And B, because you don't know exactly how long the series is going to end, how you decide where you want to, how far is too far with explaining their fate?
It's never too far. It's just a matter of what kind of incidents occurred before the end. I have a very clear idea of it. And George and I have debated things back and forth. A lot of times I've felt one way and he's felt another, and then I know he's going to win, so I try to adapt and do things. But we have a lot of good discussions about it, and like any story that you're always working on, it evolves. Sometimes we do a string of episodes that really have nothing to do with either of them, and that's kind of the suspension of it all. And it's constantly important, though, to have an idea of what that ending is. And I've made extensive notes and outlines of it, even illustrated parts of it. So I have very clear ideas. Because when I go to him with an idea like that, he'll have his idea and I'll have mine, and I would like to hear his first, so I know mine's right. But we go back and forth, and ultimately, I want to get the ending that he wants. But I have a lot of vested interest in Ahsoka and Rex, since I, really feel like I had a much bigger hand in helping create those characters than, say, Anakin. Anakin, I'm shepherding the way that I really feel I should on a George direct, ideas. And where Ahsoka, I have a lot more flexibility at times to create the character in a way that, because we don't know what happens to her. So, but it is always important to have that end goal in mind. People are very definitive about it. She either dies or she lives. And I guess that there's some truth in that. But and I always throw it at Ashley, and I'll tell her the story of her ending, and then like a year later, I'll be like, oh my gosh, I figured something else out. Now this is going to happen. I think it drives her a bit nutty, but
it's
changed. Good. It's like you're having force premonitions. They're just provided by me instead of midichlorians. Speaking to you in your dreams, You wake up and tell Matt, I had a bad dream. Dave told me an ending again. Or a good dream. It was awesome.
Yeah, that's happened a couple times. I've been in tears a couple times. I've been excited a couple times. There's been all sorts of stories.
And then there was one with the unicorn. That was
Then
really
the unicorn.
There's never
Then
one
the
with
puppy.
unicorn. Never.
And then the cat walked
Coming up
in.
soon.
No.
James Burns, Filoni's. Following on from that, as a couple of bits. So, number one, do Ashley and Dee know their fates in terms of Ahsoka and Rex? And then number two, I know most of you for the first time saw episodes 1 and episodes 2, which is a double part that airs here on September 19th in the 17th in the UK, probably a month or so later. What did you guys think of that double parter? Obviously, it was a year ago that you recorded the voices for most of it. So, what was your perceptions of season opener?
In my opinion, it's fantastic. I just think it keeps getting better and better. And the animation is amazing. There's, I guess, we've all seen the previews, right, of the clone. So we can say that. So the clone training thing, that's such a cool thing to be able to see because we haven't seen that. And, the stories just in the first two are very emotional. So I think everything just really kicks off with a bang. I think it really lasts.
In terms of Ahsoka's fate, no, I don't. I have no idea. I was just talking about the theories. I've heard all sorts of theories, but I have no idea what's going to happen. And I like it that way, because I say, and I truly mean it, I trust Dave. Whatever happens, happens, and I'm fine with it because he's gonna do the best thing for the story. So he's my Jedi Knight. I'm his Padawan. I learned from him. So
She becomes a fry cook on Venus.
Me and the boys have heard whisperings, but nothing definitive from command. Yeah, we'll see how that plays out. I very much want to know how it finally plays out, but I do not know the final answer that George will have. The first two-parter, part of it made me cry. At one part, I cried out. I shouted. It's a great showcase for how the writers and the whole team that makes this can make stories that are both personal and personally affecting and epic and awesome. And you have all of that in the two-part opener for this series. I don't think anybody who has even the mildest interest in this show will be anything but impressed and thrilled with it. And I hope you can see it in HD. Because it's really super awesome.
Yeah, it was. There was actually a lot of emotion in the room. I think it's like Kat was like, "That choked me up," and I'm going, "Yeah, me too." But just not just because of storyline, but looking at this. Every time I look at this, I'm amazed and thankful and honored to be involved with the show, but also that this is on television. I just go, wow, people got to know what they're watching, and this is so cool, because I'll be honest, there's not a lot, especially as a father, there's not a lot of things to watch on television right now. We have more channels than ever, and I spend so much time going, there's nothing on TV. Oh, Clone Wars, good. No, but, so I was excited in that there's a great story being told on television now that has a message and positive, as we mentioned before, but also looking at it and just going, wow, we get to live in this world for 22 minutes. I'm so thrilled. So it was emotional on that level, but also I just think that, the training and stuff, it's like, people are going to be like, I want to go there. I want to be there. That's what you're going to take from those first two, is you're going to want to be where they are. Start pushing for, a new theme park. That's what I was saying.
Hi, yeah, Council Panama. Just a quick question for Dave. Are you planning to do another feature film animated in 3D for perhaps next year?
No. We're working so much on this show. There's literally no time in my day. We have so many episodes in production at one time. It's like, it's no different, I guess, than directing a feature film, because they're all so extensive. But yeah, we attack it in 22-minute chunks, look at the result, say we can do all that better. Joel and I say we like this, we like that, we didn't like this, we didn't like that, let's get that next time. Let's improve the facial rig, let's improve the environment, let's make the organic environments look better. We need more leaves, more grass, we need things to feel softer, but still maintain the style of our show. So, if we ever got to that point again, I will say this, if we ever got to the point where we had time to do a movie, we would hit that ball so far this time, unlike last time. We would go into it prepared for what we were really going to be doing and know what we were going to be doing. And Joel and I have discussed it. If that ever comes up, we are going to swing away and do everything we can. But I'm so happy with what we're doing now. Lethal Trackdown for me at the end of last season was a huge achievement in that, I got to write it and direct it, and that was a big deal for me personally, and it gave me a lot of confidence because I liked how it came out. And my episodic directors, they're all firing on all cylinders these days, so the work that's coming out is really impressive, and I know George couldn't be happier with it, and a happy George is a happy Dave, so an easier day for Dave. So
George leads to Dave, Dave leads to us.
Yeah, pretty much.
Steve Lawson.